Hi, I'm Nicole, and we're here at C3 talking to people about how AI is changing their jobs in SEO. Could just give me your name and where you work?
Sure. Jeff Gregory, Navy Federal Credit Union.
I'm Jessie Henry, and I work for UPMC.
Tyler Mower, I work at Utah Valley University.
What is the biggest change you've made to your digital strategy because of AI?
The monitoring of results and experimenting with results. Our interaction with ChatGPT, Perplexity, to gauge what people are searching, possibly, and where we show up, and so what we look like. And so that's where the AI search performance dashboard has come in handy to see how are we showing up, what's showing up where, because we're still learning. We're not producing more content faster, per se. So at first we were like, wait a minute, where's the value? But the writers still wanted to keep using it. And it's that we're producing better content.
We have started to look a little bit more into prompts. So historically, if I would be trying to target a specific topic, I'd look at people also ask and long tail queries. But we're finding that that's just not enough anymore. And now it's really critical to also prompt engineer and kind of reverse engineer it to see, okay, if I'm a consumer in a specific topic, thinking about a specific topic, what questions am I going to talk to an agent about rather than just Googling?
Integrating everything together, so taking content, video, social media, all of that, and bringing them out of the siloed environment into a comprehensive, I don't know, even know the word, bringing it all together.
What are the benefits you've seen from that?
All the content is working better together. So we're seeing more organic results from that. We're seeing better social media engagement because they're connecting the dots over to where we want them to go. We're seeing better engagement to the actual things that we're trying to get students to, whether that's programs or courses. And that's improving across most of our different channels, across like organic, social, referral, all of that is going up.
How has your role changed, and what are you focusing on more now with the introduction of AI into your workflows?
It's having to have answers for the unanswerable at this time. My role has changed is that how do I learn to communicate and calm those who want answers to things that we don't have answers for yet. Being in a SEO for a long time. Back before there was an age of SEO where we didn't have analytics. How well is our SEO performing? They're not sure. Like, how is traffic to the site? It's really good. Okay, and that's where we're at.
My role really hasn't changed all that much. If anything, it has elevated the search team and upskilled us significantly, because what we're finding is that there's a lot more eyes on performance as a result of this shift. So it's really, I think, collectively our team is looking more at what metrics matter, and that's probably been the biggest shift. Is I don't talk about organic clicks anymore. Instead, we're focusing a little bit more on the output that actually matters and those quality conversions. So I would say the biggest shift for my personal position is when we're putting together strategies, trying to really talk about what the ROI is going to be moving forward.
We're in the pre-web trends days. For those who remember web trends, we don't have web trends yet for AI. We just don't know, and so that's the biggest change, is trying to navigate that and to try and I think someone said it earlier, it's like to calm people down and say, look, here's what we're trying to do, like and to try to paint the picture as best we can at this given moment, and to try to be the voice of reason in the room and say, look, hey, the sky is not falling. Yes, we need to be on top of this, and we are. Like, that to me is like the main. Yes, we're on top of it. Do we know everything? No, we don't yet. We don't have the data yet.
That's a good question. It's kind of the same. Everyone is saying, like, a lot of people were like, oh, AI, or not AI, SEO is now dead. So do we need SEO? And I've been trying to no, SEO is not dead. It's just kind of evolving as it always has. So kind of being an advocate for the need to continue to do that, but the need for more specifics, more consistency, more structure to be able to rock it in both environments.
What new metrics, if at all, are you using to calm those people down and kind of showcase that what you're doing still is working?
Really, metrics. It's not metrics even. It's examples. It's we use the metrics as a guiding tool. Like, hey, here's impressions. But right now we have to take them and show them exactly what's happening in actual results. And so the metric is actual prompts. Like here we are. Because we don't have that long, that year's worth of data trend. Like, here's what people are searching. And so in addition to general impressions and views, showing them specific results, that's been most effective for us.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of the sessions today have already talked about the need to track and report on citations and mentions. But beyond that, it's still really critical to look at what's happening when people get to your website. You might be seeing traffic decrease, but you should be seeing an improvement in the quality of the traffic. So we're really doubling down on, hey, people might not be visiting as often, but the qualified users are, the hand raisers are, and they're the ones who are likely to convert.
How has AI changed your content creation process?
We're using Writing Assistant to do that. Just because no one's been using like any kind of optimization really in the past, so it's just kind of like throwing darts in a dark room. So we're using Writing Assistant as a way to bring optimizations into the content itself, and then piecemealing that out as much as we can into the other areas. Or if we're doing video itself, we're saying like, okay, here's a really cool video article we just made. How can we transition that into a content piece as well? And then using Writing Assistant to help guide that as well.
I think in some ways it's made it better, in some ways it's made it worse. We're spending a little bit more time conceptualizing using an AI, but I've also seen opportunities to streamline some of like our metadata creation, because you can create an agent to structure your metadata in the template that you prefer, and that can kind of simplify some of those more tactical and like consistent elements.
AI has not supplanted our writers, but AI is absolutely supporting our writers now and helping them. We're not necessarily finding efficiency gains, but we're finding quality gains. You should probably talk to the writers about that. And so, to me, that's a huge change.
What is the biggest challenge you see in the future for brands in this AI-driven landscape?
I'm worried about the saturation of it. So I think right now there's a time where you have to get up in front of it, and if you're not, you're going to be well behind, and it might be hard to get back up in front of it if you're not taking the needs or doing the things necessary to show up in LLMs now. So you might be rocking it on like search engines now, but if you're not focusing on how to get cited and mentioned, you might find yourself falling well behind that. So I think for brand, you have to be in the lead, like starting now, or hopefully you've already been working on it, because otherwise you might have an uphill battle.